Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. So today, as you can see, this is my first video in English and I'm gonna talk about buffer overflow attacks. So I will do a small demonstration and we are just going to scratch the surface. Okay, so let's go. Before to dive into the practical side, I'm gonna make a small presentation about this topic. Buffer overflow explained in 7 steps. But before, I'm gonna speak about the anatomy of memory and then the stack layer. And into the anatomy of memory, we have 2 spaces, the kernel space and the user space. And with this distinction, we have memory and hardware protection. In the buffer overflow attack, we have one field which is targeted. This is the stack layer. And inside the stack layer, as you can see, we have different layers, the ASP, etc. to the EIP. The goal here is only to reach the EIP zone. If we reach this zone, the targeted application will be crashed or will be exploited. Inside the buffer overflow attack, we have 7 steps. The spiking, the fuzzing, we have to find the offset, overwriting the EIP, finding the bad characters, finding the right module, and to finish we have to generate our shellcode and getting root access. Here you just have to download a vulnerable application, here Vulnserver. Then you just have to download also the immunity debugger, prepare your attacking machine and your target, and enjoy. For me, the best content to learn buffer overflow attack more deeper is to follow the course of TCM Security PEH. So let's go for the practical side. Spiking consists in to find a vulnerable part of an application or a program. So as you can see, on the left I have my target machine and on the right my attacking machine. Okay, and on my targeted machine I have to run Vulnserver as an administrator, and I'm gonna do the same for immunity debugger. Okay. Now in immunity debugger, you have to go in File, Attach, and you're gonna select Vulnserver. And you will see a Windows like that. Don't forget to click on the play button just here to run the application. Now on my attacking machine, I'm gonna try to connect to the vulnerable server via netcat. So as you can see, I have this command, and we have our target IP address here with the port. And we have a message, welcome to vulnerable server. Now I'm gonna try to play with this application and to see the list of valid commands. For example, we have stats or tyrant, for example. And spiking consists in to use different scripts, for example, to be really simple, and to send a bunch of characters. For example, I'm gonna use the command stats in my script command, script file, sorry, and the tyrant command into my script file too. And as you can see, I have created already the spike files. If you want to get a more deeper look inside the spike files for stats, for example, you have just here the document stats open. Now, as you can see, these documents are inside the document folders. I'm gonna use a specific command to try to break the application and to see where we can get more information where it's breakable. So for that, I'm gonna use the command generic send TCP with the IP address of my target. And to be more specific and to gain more time, I'm gonna use the tyrant.spike script. So I'm gonna launch it and I'm gonna stop it. Okay. And on the target machine in immunity debugger, we have at the bottom access violation when executing 41, 41, 41 and 41. This is where it's breakable, and this is the information what we are looking for. If we take a look at the immunity debugger, we have the tyrant command just here, and we can see the bunch of A's was sent just before we proscribed the spike just here. And we can conclude that something is vulnerable inside this application. Into the line EBP, just here, we have 41, 41, 41 and 41. This is the X code for A, etc. So here we are in the second step, the fuzzing part. And we are going more deeper into this section in order to find where the application can crash. So for this, we have our target machine on the left, and on the right, our attacking machine. And as you can see on the attacking machine, I have written a Python script. So here I invite you to put the video on pause and to read the command associated with each part into this Python script. As you can see, I've already launched my netcat session. And here, before to run my Python script, I'm gonna use chmod+x in order to execute this Python script. And now I'm gonna launch my Python script. And if we go back on our target machine, we can see different things here. I'm gonna take a look into immunity debugger, and we will wait a few seconds. Okay, at the bottom we have something really interesting. On my attacking machine, I can click on the Ctrl+C, and as you can see, we know where the application crashed, and it's 2700 bytes. So here I have to find the offset value, and for this I'm gonna use different tools. But why I have to find this value? Because if I find this value, I can control the EIP zone. So in the first step, I'm gonna use this command to generate a specific code. And why I have decided to add 3000? Because before we have found that at 2700 the application crashes at this value. So that's why I have chose 3000. I just have to copy this code and to paste it here in my new Python file. So here, I recommend you to take the time to pause the video and to read this code. It's really important to understand. So I'm gonna paste this code, I'm gonna save, okay? And don't forget to put the chmod+x for this Python script in order to execute it, okay? So here I just have to type this command to run this Python file. And if we go back on our target machine, we are gonna take a look at the immunity debugger. And here we have something really interesting, the EIP value. So we are gonna to take this code and to paste it in another command just here. So here, it's something almost similar, but it's really different because here at the end, we have pattern offset.ruby. And I'm gonna click on enter. And as you can see, we have the exact match at offset 2003. As a reminder, and as you can see, we have the offset value just here. This information is very important because it means that at this value we can control the EIP zone. So this value means that we have 2003 bytes to reach the EIP zone before. And the EIP itself is 4 bytes long. In this step, I'm gonna to override the EIP zone. So for this, I'm gonna use a Python script, the same as I used previously, and I'm gonna add some elements. And as you can see on my screen, in my attacking machine, I have a new line about shellcode. And we will send 2003 A's because it's where the EIP starts. Then byte 2004 starts the EIP, so we are going to overwrite with base in order to avoid some confusions. To remember, A's are 41 and B's are 42. So as you can see in this web page, it's really interesting to take a look at this. You can see this one, the hexadecimal code 41 is character A and 42 is B, okay? Now I'm gonna run the Python script in order what's happened in the app. And if we take a look at Immunity Debugger, the value of EIP is 42, 42, 42 and 42. And we can see the link with bees. And I'm gonna to take a more deeper look at this on the right, just at the bottom, to see if there is something interesting. And at the bottom on the right, just here, we can see the bees. So we have well overwriting the EIP zone. Okay, now I have to check for bad characters. And for this I'm gonna use my Python script. So I have used my previous Python script. And you just have to add a line, bad chars here, and these characters. For this, I went to this website on GitHub. And you just have to find the section Python and to copy this element. So you will paste this element here. So I have created a new line. You can do the same. Into the line shellcode, you have to add this element, bad chars. And to avoid some problems, you have to add this element to latent 1. Okay? You just have to save your Python script, run your vulnerable server, and then I'm gonna run my Python script. So I go back on my targeted machine and I'm gonna check at this section here, ESP line. On the ESP line, I'm gonna to do a right click and click on follow in dump. And as you can see at the bottom on the left, you will see the X dump. The principle here is to try each character in hexadecimal format. And as you can see here, nothing is a problem, everything is right. Sometimes you can meet some problem, and I'm gonna to show you. If you have an example of bad characters, it's this one. And you will see in green, these are bad characters. When we talk about finding the right module, in fact we are looking for something inside the program, like a DLL or something similar, that has no memory protection. So for this, I'm gonna work with a specific module inside Immunity Debugger, which is Mona. And to download Mona, I just have to go on this web page on GitHub and to download this element, mona.python. Once I have downloaded this folder on the GitHub, I just have to take this Python element and to paste it into this folder for Immunity Debugger. Now you just have to go back into your Immunity Debugger window, and at the bottom you can type some commands. And for example, I have typed this command, exclamation point mona space modules, and you just have to type on enter. And you will see a window like that. And here we will focus on two specific things. You just have to read this board, and you will see two lines really interesting. In our example, and to gain really more time, we will focus on ISC function and Vulnserver.exe. And as a reminder, these are protection settings. Now go back on your Kali machine and you're gonna to launch this command. You're gonna to select between two commands, and I will select this one. Here we are trying to convert assembly language into hexadecimal code. Now I'm gonna type my jump command. And as you can see, you have a value here. So to help you a little bit, you just have to take this output and to write this command here into your Mona module here. So you can copy and paste on your target machine this command, and you just have to launch it. And we are going to use this function in order to point to our shellcode. Now I can use this command to see the return addresses. And as you can see, we have some results just here. Now I'm gonna try the first address obtained before, and you just have to open your Python file used in the previous steps, and you just have also to bring some modifications. Here as a command you can see my first return address, and about the shellcode you can see also some modifications. And here in red I have something really different, because this is what we call a little Indian code. So for example, it's not hard to understand. You just have to start from the end and to finish by the start of this address. It's not really complicated. And as the same, I recommend you to take the time to read this Python script in order to understand, and the comment here like this one is also here to help you to understand better. Now you just have to go back on your target machine, and in Immunity Debugger you have to reduce the Mona window and to click on this button. And as you can see, I have already made this search before. 625011 AF, this is the first address return obtained via Mona. I click on enter, and then we have this line FFE4 with jump ESP. Now you just have to click on this line and to press F2 to keep in blue. We have used F2 to set up our breakpoint. By putting this line in blue, we are going to overflow the buffer. So if we hit this point, the program will stop and it will wait for more instruction from us. Now we just have to click on the play button and to run our Python script from our attacking machine. So as you can see at the bottom, we have a specific message, breakpoint at S-func. So this is a result that means we have hit our breakpoint, and now we can control the EIP zone. Okay, so here we are in the most important part, and we just have to generate our shellcode and to get root. So for this, I'm gonna use MSF Venom to generate my payload and to add some elements. And for me, I have, for example, here the IP address of my attacking machine and the port where I will listen. And previously, I have talked about the bad characters, and here you have to add your bad characters. So that's why it's really important. And you just have to press enter button, and just here you will see you have your output. And you just have to copy and to paste this output. For my example, I will work with my previous Python script, and you just have to add a line. Here, this is overflow. You just have to paste it and to add some elements here. So about the shellcode line. And here we have the pad just here, which is called no ops, and to add overflow. So here we are going to submit the shellcode in this variable shellcode here. We are going to say, okay, 2003 bytes, that gets us to the EIP zone. When we get to the EIP, we are going to hit the pointer, so at this address. This pointer address is just the jump address. So we are going to jump to this set of instructions that we provide. The set of instructions we are providing here, overflow, is the shellcode in red. Before overflow, we need to add pads called no ops. Here it's x90, just here. So when we have something like this, what we are going is we are just adding a little bit of pads space in between this jump command and the overflow shellcode. Okay, so it's really easy to understand, and you just have to read just here the comments. That's why I prefer to add this element like this. You just have to save your Python script, run a netcat session on the port this one, and to listen on this port. And now just gonna run my Python script. And as you can see, I have an access, and I'm gonna ask who I am. And as you can see, I've gained an access to the machine. So congratulations to follow until this part. And this is a really good topic to understand Buffer Overflow. If you want to go more deeper on this topic, I invite you to follow the course of TCM Security, and here we will go more deeper into this course. So here it's a small conclusion about this video and some advices. To really be efficient in Buffer Overflow, it's not a secret. You just have to take good notes and to understand these different steps. And that's why I recommend strongly to follow different courses or to follow different topics about this one. But it's not impossible. You just have to show perseverance, determination, and to be well organized. That's why you will get, I think, a good methodology in the future, and don't give up. The secret is perseverance, believe me. And that's it. So if you want more information, I strongly recommend you also to follow the course of TCM Security. It's not expensive, it's really simple, it goes at the essential, and I really love it. I recommend you to do the same. So it was a pleasure to do this video, and my name is Nabil, and I wish you a good day and see you in the next video.